"12 indoor plants with broad leaves." Are you looking to add a touch of greenery and freshness to your indoor space? Look no further. In this video, we're going to introduce you to 13 spectacular indoor plants with broad leaves that will instantly elevate the ambience of your home or office. To this end, we've explored various indoor plants and concluded with 13 beloved and popular broad-leafed ones. These 13 indoor plants with broad leaves can be excellent choices for homes and office spaces alike.
Artlist.io.
With the help of these plants, you can transform your home into an apartment jungle in any condition. All you need is to understand the characteristics of each environment and find the suitable plants for them.
Music licensing reimagined.
Elephant ear Alocasia, the first plant from the list of indoor plants with broad leaves. The elephant ear plant is typically kept outdoors but can make an excellent, large, and eye-catching addition to indoor spaces as well. The leaves of this indoor broadleaf plant can grow up to 90 centimeters. Although the growth rate depends entirely on the plant species, if you intend to keep an elephant ear plant indoors, place it out of reach of children and pets, as ingestion can have toxic effects on them. Brief care guide for elephant ear plant. Light provide ample indirect sunlight. Watering keep the soil consistently moist. Soil use well-draining, rich soil mix.
Artlist.io.
2. Bird of Paradise Strelitzia, one of the most beautiful and eye-catching indoor plants with broad leaves.
Music licensing reimagined.
The bird of paradise is a tropical broad-leafed plant renowned for its unique and distinctive flowers, which resemble a bird in flight. Its leaves emerge in a layered fashion from a central stem, making it a less common sight. Indoors, a bird of paradise can reach heights of 1.8 to 2 meters and span approximately 1.2 meters in width. If you plan to keep a bird of paradise indoors, be cautious as it is highly toxic to cats and dogs.
Artlist.io.
Brief care guide for bird of paradise plant. Light. Direct to bright indirect sunlight. Water the plant whenever the soil becomes dry. Soil well-draining, rich and loamy soil mix.
Music licensing reimagined.
3. Ficus lyrata. Ficus lyrata, commonly known as the fiddle leaf fig, is one of the most popular indoor plants and a member of the broad-leafed houseplant family, capable of instantly elevating the look of any space. Its notable features include its broad, waxy leaves that resemble a violin. Despite their broadness, these leaves can be pruned into various shapes to keep the plant tidy. While this plant is highly favored, its finicky nature and care difficulties are aspects to consider. Given the right growing conditions, Ficus lyrata can reach its maximum potential and mature into a full-fledged tree, As one of the indoor plants with broad leaves, the size of Ficus lyrata will be somewhat smaller due to being potted and pruned smaller than its natural state. The leaves of Ficus lyrata are toxic to both pets and humans if ingested.
Artlist.io.
Brief care guide for Ficus lyrata. Light bright indirect sunlight. Watering water when the soil becomes dry. Soil-rich potting mix with excellent drainage.
Music licensing reimagined.
For Philodendron Xanadu. The broad, leathery leaves of the Philodendron Xanadu make it a stunning centerpiece plant. As the Philodendron Xanadu grows larger, it develops more corners and branches. Each leaf of this plant can reach up to 40 centimeters in length and 30 centimeters in width, with approximately 10 to 15 small branches. Like many other indoor plants, Philodendron Xanadu is toxic to both humans and pets if ingested. Therefore, we recommend keeping it out of reach of children, cats, and dogs. Brief care guide for Philodendron Xanadu. Light indirect, bright to medium light. Watering water when the soil becomes dry. Soil well-draining soil mix.
Artlist.io.
Five, Ficus Elastica. Ficus Elastica, also known as the rubber plant, is a beloved apartment-friendly plant available in various sizes and colors. Its broad, glossy leaves are characteristic of tropical plants. While Ficus Elastica can grow up to 15 meters in its natural habitat, its dimensions are smaller indoors, making it easier to find suitable space for it. Additionally, through pruning and root division, you can control its shape and size indoors. This tropical plant requires ample bright, direct sunlight to thrive indoors, so it's essential to consider this factor when caring for it. Also, be aware that Ficus Elastica is mildly toxic if ingested by cats, dogs, or humans, so take precautions accordingly.
Artlist.io.
Brief care guide for Ficus Elastica. Light. Direct sunlight. Watering keep the soil consistently moist during the growing seasons. Soil, well-draining soil mix. Six. Alocasia amazonica, a species of elephant ear plant. Alocasia amazonica, a variety of the popular elephant ear plant, is known for its large, striking leaves adorned with veins of bright white and green. The heart-shaped leaves of this attractive plant often have a dark purple underside.
Artlist.io.
Thriving under bright, indirect sunlight and in well-draining soil, Alocasia amazonica exhibits remarkable growth. Like many other indoor plants with broad leaves mentioned in this article, Alocasia amazonica can have toxic effects on cats, dogs, and humans if ingested. Brief care guide for Alocasia amazonica. Light. Bright indirect sunlight. Watering keep the soil consistently moist, avoiding waterlogging. Soil-rich soil mix with excellent drainage.
Artlist.io.
7. Philodendron gloriosum. Philodendron gloriosum is a variety of philodendron with broad leaves. This captivating plant features velvety, dark green leaves adorned with intricate white veins. Philodendron gloriosum is quite rare, and you may not find it readily available in your local plant shops. If you wish to own this plant, you'll likely need to order it online from specialized nurseries or purchase it from a plant collector. Keep in mind that Philodendron gloriosum, like many other plants mentioned in this article, is toxic to humans, cats, and dogs if ingested. Brief care guide for Philodendron gloriosum. Light. Bright indirect sunlight. Watering water when the top 3 centimeters of soil are dry. Soil. Rich soil mix with excellent drainage. Eight. Ornamental banana tree.
Music licensing reimagined.
The ornamental banana tree is renowned for its broad, tropical leaves. A mature banana tree can reach heights of up to 2.7 meters and have a width of approximately 60 centimeters. While typically grown outdoors, if you have a bright, sunny spot indoors, you can also keep a banana tree as an apartment plant.
Artlist.io.
Just remember to keep its soil consistently moist throughout the growing seasons, not just the surface, but the entire soil volume. The good news about this option from the list of indoor plants with broad leaves is that the ornamental banana tree is safe for pets.
Music licensing reimagined.
Brief care guide for ornamental banana tree. Light. Full sunlight. Watering keep the soil consistently moist, but avoid waterlogging. Soil. Rich soil mix with excellent drainage. Nine. Majestic palm Ravenea Rivularis.
Artlist.io.
The Majestic palm is an attractive and popular indoor palm tree that can reach a height of 3 meters with slow growth. It features green leaf stems that grow on numerous branches. Sometimes, maintaining this palm indoors may seem challenging and might not be suitable for those who lack experience in plant care. Providing sufficient light, appropriate temperature, and proper fertilization are essential for maintaining a healthy Majestic palm, as this plant is somewhat sensitive to its care conditions. Similar to the banana tree, the Majestic palm is safe for cats, dogs, and other pets.
Artlist.io.
Brief care guide for Majestic palm. Light. Adequate indirect sunlight. Watering keep the entire soil moist, but avoid waterlogging. Soil. Well-draining cactus and succulent soil mix.
Music licensing reimagined.
10. Calathea Orbifolia. Calathea Orbifolia is a species of maranta plants distinguished by its round-like leaves. This indoor plant requires a high level of humidity for its well-being, making it challenging for many individuals to care for due to the difficulty of maintaining high humidity levels. However, if you intend to care for it, you can read articles on increasing humidity for indoor plants on the Gulsatan blog. Place Calathea Orbifolia in a location where it receives indirect sunlight. Keep the soil consistently moist. It's worth noting that Calathea Orbifolia is attractive and non-toxic to pets and humans, so there's no need to worry about it in that regard.
Music licensing reimagined.
Brief care guide for Calathea Orbifolia. Light. Adequate indirect sunlight. Watering keep the soil consistently moist. Soil. Rich and well-draining. 11. Dieffenbachia seguine.
Artlist.io.
Dieffenbachia seguine is one of the largest species of Dieffenbachia and is among the broad-leaved indoor plants that can grow up to 3 meters indoors. Seguine has attractive leaves, and its maintenance is easy.
Music licensing reimagined.
For this reason, Dieffenbachia seguine can be considered one of the most popular indoor plants. This plant can tolerate neglect and low light well, but it is toxic if ingested by cats, dogs, and humans, potentially causing skin irritations and digestive issues.
Artlist.io.
Brief care guide for Dieffenbachia seguine. Light. Bright to low sunlight. Water it when the soil has dried out. Soil. It requires well-draining soil, but Dieffenbachia seguine is not very sensitive to soil types.
Music licensing reimagined.
1-2. Licuala grandis. Licuala grandis is a special and unusual palm with wide, fan-shaped leaves that resemble a fan or a windmill. Moving and touching Licuala might be a bit challenging, but caring for it indoors is quite straightforward.
Artlist.io.
To care for Licuala grandis, choose a spot in your home where it receives sufficient, indirect sunlight. Also, allow the soil to dry out a few centimeters between each watering. Lastly, it's worth noting that Licuala grandis is not toxic to pets.
Music licensing reimagined.
Brief care guide for Licuala grandis. Light indirect, bright to moderate sunlight watering. Moderate watering is required soil. Excellent drainage.
Artlist.io. Artlist.io.